All right, greetings, everybody. I'm going to be speaking on what is entrepreneurship, what is wealth, what do you need to know as someone taking your first steps into this arena. We run a project called the Black Secret Business Project. You can go to our website, www.theblacksecrets.co.uk/business hyphen project. We are introducing wealth building principles to empower the community. So, in being given this space by Leon Marshall, I have to be very grateful to be offered this space. So I'm going to make sure that the next 1 hour, I'll make sure that you get value, you get useful ideas and useful concepts. So what's in it for you? You're going to learn empowering information on wealth building. That takes its inspiration from Black history. You're going to learn detailed content that will expand your mind. And you're going to learn ideas and concepts that will increase your understanding of wealth building as you triumph through life. The Black Secret, for those of you that don't know who I am and what we do, is a fundamental empowerment concept where we are quietly empowering the people. We want to produce adults who can move themselves forward and the community forward. We want to engage people across the world with our program. You could be in London, Toxteth, Harlem, Kingston, Atlanta, Abuja, Nairobi, Accra. You could be anywhere. And our project is designed to turn you and your family into entrepreneurs. We even offer you an opportunity to work with us should you choose to. Ultimately, we want 1 million African heritage homes all over the world to subscribe to our program. Ultimately, we want entrepreneurial people to learn from us and work with us. Imagine what 1 million empowered and entrepreneurial households all over the world could achieve. So, in making this introductory presentation, I'm going to make 2 points. Number one, why is study and learning important to wealth building? And number two, what is wealth building mastery? 2 topics. And as I said, give me 1 hour and I can break these concepts down. Why is study and learning important to wealth building? You must take wealth building and personal development seriously. Nothing to do with wealth building comes naturally. Everything has a body of knowledge, a body of skill, and a body of application that works with it. And you need to be just as serious about personal development as you are or were about the other areas of your learning. You can see a whole bunch of books. And people that are entrepreneurial, they read a whole bunch of books because you do need to read, to learn, to grow, and to do. So this is what a future wealth builder looks like. Now you can see that there's a young man and he's clearly in a library or possibly a bookshop. He has his book open. That is what a future wealth builder looks like. So what's going on in the picture? Reading, learning, absorbing, thinking. This is what future wealth builders look like. Now, this is a public seminar. And in this public seminar, essentially, hundreds of people are being trained in how to develop themselves so that they can find ways of making money, attracting money, holding money. Very, very important part of your personal development. If you're the kind of person that attends seminars like this, you are potentially a future wealth builder. Now, what is the most important supporting tool needed by a wealth builder? Is this. You have to have your journal, you have to have your pen, because you need to learn, you need to grow, you need to think, you need to rethink. When you have ideas come to you, you need to write those ideas down. And consequently, your journal is going to be the most important supporting tool. Now, I know that when people talk about money, they don't usually talk about the importance of reading, study, and learning. But I'm going to talk about it because if there isn't any reading, if there isn't any studying, and if there isn't any learning, the chances are there is no wealth being developed. Moreover, there are no wealth building genes that some people have inherited and others don't have. Some wealth builders did indeed inherit their wealth. Others did indeed stumble across their wealth. But a number of wealth builders use systematic methods. And when someone uses a systematic method, you can learn it, you can copy it, you can duplicate, you can make alterations. And it's the systematic methods that the gurus have historically studied because they can be replicated. So the wealth gurus are people whose job it is to study how wealthy people become wealthy. And their job is to analyze and explain the patterns to the general public. And one such guru is George Sabira, African-American guru, and who he's famous for a number of books he published in the 1980s. The most important one being Black Folks' Guide to Making Big Money in America. It is a classic, it is a masterpiece, and it doesn't matter how much it is being sold for secondhand. You need to have that book. If you are serious about making your wealth journey, that is your starting point. As George Sabira says, in your struggle out of poverty and powerlessness, never forget the golden rule. He who has the gold rules. But as you study wealth, you realize that the different wealth gurus do not agree with each other. George Clayson, Richest Man in Babylon, 1926, is not coming with the same message as Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, 1937, is not coming with the same message as George Sabira, Black Folks' Guide to Making Big Money in America, is not coming with the same message as Robert T. Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, 1997. In practice, each one of these gurus provided jigsaw pieces of wealth analysis and jigsaw pieces of actionable plans. But the person with the biggest jigsaw is easily George Sabira. Others have concentrated on personal development. Other gurus have discovered specific methods of wealth generation, such as property investment, such as share trading, such as membership sites, such as publishing. My lane is publishing. Those are specific methods. Now, as the teacher, my role is to synthesize the whole jigsaw, fill in the gaps, and then explain it to the general public. Who is the general public? Explain it to you. That's what my role is. My role is also to help you put together an actionable plan that will plan your route off the plantation into your own wealth and income streams. Your role is to learn the analysis, study the plans, do the personal development, and ultimately master two specific wealth generation methods. If you're stuck, I can offer you one wealth generation method. We at the Black Secret do offer people, if you want to work with us, you can become an affiliate marketer for us, and we can make that available to you. And no, we're not going to charge you. Finally, your role is to take massive 10x action. So, what's in red? You need to screenshot that. Your role is to learn the analysis, study the plans, do the personal development, and ultimately master two specific wealth generation methods. Now, never underestimate how much content you need to learn. And it's about the same as an old school British A-level. Now, what you can do to learn an A-level, you can do it in 1 year. So there's a lot of content there. So it's not impossible, but also never underestimate how much personal development you are going to need, because you are going to go from newbie to entrepreneur. That's a massive amount of personal development, massive amount of personal growth. All right, so there's our first theme. We looked at why is study important. Now I'm going to talk about what is wealth building mastery. And the what, we're going to introduce a whole bunch of terms, a whole bunch of concepts, and then I'm going to explain what they mean and where they fit into the jigsaw. Okay, what's going on in the picture? If you think you know what's going on in the picture, write it in the chat, and perhaps Leon could read to me what's in the chat.
Engaging minds, they're all on the same page.
Getting everybody on the same page.
Well done, Lottie.
Now, why are we doing this? Because there are going to be people listening to this who are already entrepreneurial, and they are listening to me to see what can I teach them to move them on to the next step. And then there are people on the plantation who want to know, is it even possible for me to get off the plantation? So I need to get everybody on the same page by introducing the key concepts that cover the entire area of entrepreneurship. And it's a whole bunch of concepts. So this is what the concepts are. You've got agenda setters and agenda followers. Who is who? Targets. What should we be aiming for if we want to become wealthy? Vehicles. How do we actually make the money? What are the wealth vehicles that we need to master? Financial education. What is financial education? Why is financial education important? How do you do it? Money management. What should you be doing with your money so that you can afford financial education, so that you can afford to create assets? Principles. What are the wealth principles that you need to follow and you need to make them a part of your life? Key skills. Key skills are, how can you shortcut the process? We at the Black Secret believe that to become truly, truly, truly rich, it takes 6 years to become financially free, and it takes an additional 8 years, total 14 years, to become truly, truly, truly rich. But there are ways to shortcut, and your key skills will enable you to shortcut if you know what you're doing. And so these are the concepts that wealth building mastery consists of. And what I'm going to do is run each of them down one by one. Jacqueline Brooks, a colleague of mine, discovered that there are two groups of people operating within the world of money: a minority who set agendas and a majority who follow those agendas. She suggests that if you desire success, you must create your own agendas rather than follow those set by others. In reality, in the world, you actually do both. You follow in some situations, you lead in other situations. I'm an entrepreneur. I follow in some situations, I lead in other situations. Now, what's missing from most people's lives is they never get to lead. They never get to set the agenda. Other wealth gurus have noticed similar things. T. Harv Eker distinguishes individuals who actively create their lives from the victims who just let life happen to them. Robert T. Kiyosaki argues there are entrepreneurs who build business systems and there are employees who are employed by those systems. So leadership, setting the agenda, making things happen has to be a key part of you becoming an entrepreneur. And the moment you start setting the agenda is where things start to change in your life. The next question is, what are the targets to becoming rich? What exactly are we aiming for? And what should we be aiming for? Now, for the first 6 years of becoming an entrepreneur, you should be aiming for financial freedom. This is the target laid out by the great Japanese American guru, Robert T. Kiyosaki. Financial freedom is where you are living entirely off your assets because your assets are keeping you, your assets are paying for you. Financial freedom is where you do not have a day job because you do not need a day job. Because essentially, the money that you would have earned, you have systems and structures already in place, pulling down that same income or more, but doing it through passive income. If you've hit the position where the amount that you have coming in passively pays for all of your expenses, all of your debt repayments, so much so that you do not have to get up in the morning and step outside your front door, you have reached the target of financial freedom. For most people in Britain, that is about £2,000 per calendar month. And for people in London, it might be £3,000 per calendar month. Your ultimate target, though, your 14-year target, is a massive passive income. You're looking at around £10,000 per calendar month. Massive net worth of perhaps £4 million, and systems and structures in place to grow the passive income and to grow the net worth. Okay, so let's explain what some of these concepts are. How much are you worth? There is a measure of how much an individual is worth, and that measure is called equity or net worth. And it's how much do you own minus how much do you owe. Now, what kind of assets do the rich own? They tend to own things like property, stocks, art, coins, stamps, furniture. And all of these things are calculated not at the price that they were bought, but at the price that they can be resold at. And in many cases, these figures keep going up and up and up and up. Now, standard economic theory says that shouldn't happen. Standard economic theory has a concept called wear and tear. And this is the idea that the longer you hold on to something, the worse condition it should be in by the time you sell it. And this is one more reason why standard economics is nonsense. In reality, many of these things go up in value and up in value. And there's a concept called compounding. because a 10% increase in 1 year, by the time we get to the next year, that 10% is an even bigger increase. The year after that, the 10% is an even bigger increase. And that's called compounding. By the way, the same thing happens with debt. If you get into debt, its size can also compound and compound and compound. Allegedly, the Jewish intellectual Albert Einstein is alleged to have said that compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. All right, let's imagine two individuals, one with £100,000 worth of assets, another with £200,000 worth of assets. Our first person, the £100,000, is when we add up everything the person owns and subtract everything they owe, what's left is £100,000. Or our second individual, you add up all the things that they own, subtract what they owe, and what's left is £200,000. Now, if asset values rise at the rate of 10% per year, at the end of 1 year, our first individual is worth £110,000. Our second individual is worth £220,000. If that happens again the following year, our first individual is worth £121,000. Our second individual is worth £242,000. If it happens for a fourth year, our first individual is worth £133,100. Our second individual is worth £266,200. And you can see how someone is becoming worth more and more and more in terms of asset wealth. Remember, it's not the price you paid for these things. It's what price you can resell them at just by holding on to them. Now, you'll notice that the 10% increase means ever increasing increments of value. You'll also notice that no work was done by these asset holders to increase these values. So equity, how much do you own minus how much do you owe? Where are you at? Again, I'm not pointing the finger because, of course, if you were never taught any of these things, you don't know these things. And that someone's net worth could be going up quicker than how much you can work to make the same amount of money. Now, of course, someone's net worth only becomes realized if they sell, but they can still profit because they can borrow against net worth as well. And this is how the rich make money. So what are the two sets of vehicles to get you to your initial and final targets? Our initial target is to become financially free. And there are passive income systems. And ultimately, you need to learn one of these passive income systems and master one. And then to get from financially free to being truly, truly rich, you need to build a fast lane business. And that will take you from year 7 all the way up to year 14 of your wealth journey. Now, if you do the first 6 and become financially free and you choose to stop there, still good, not hating, but the two sets of vehicles. So what are passive income systems? These are systems that when you build them, when you put the work in, when you put the effort in, these systems can continue to repeatedly generate money month after month after month, and do so without you putting any more effort in, any more time in. So businesses that run independently of you is a passive income system. Stocks and bonds are passive income systems. Mutual or tracker funds are passive income systems. Some forms of affiliate marketing, such as what we offer people that want to work with us, they become passive income systems. It's going to take you a long time to build them, but that's what they become. Royalties from books, royalties from music, royalties from things that are published. This is personally how I make my money. So it's built on royalties. And income generating property. This is how me and my sister make money. So these are passive income systems. And you are going to need to learn one. You are going to need to master one. You are going to need to ride one of those systems for at least 6 years. And don't underestimate how difficult that is. But this is the first 6 years of what you need to do to become financially free. Now, there are some jokers online that say passive income doesn't exist. Passive income, you can see it's crossed out. There is no passive income, says Gary V. Now, what's the real truth? Financial freedom is a 6-year journey, as I've just said. Finally, the people who insist there is no such thing as passive income are, wait for it. You ready for it? Everyone ready? Put ones in the chat if you're ready. The people who insist there is no such thing as passive income are, wait for it, broke. Yeah, people need to know. Okay, then you have the second half of your wealth journey. Once you become financially free, you need to build a fast lane business. Now, there is a particular definition of what is meant by a fast lane business. Most businesses are not fast lane. So you need to know there's a particular definition. I can't go into it now because of shortage of time, but fast lane businesses are subscription-based internet models. That's fast lane. Online news magazines or blogs. This is what the YouTubers do. That's fast lane. Brokerage systems that put buyers and sellers together like Airbnb. That's fast lane. E-commerce is fast lane. Innovation and distribution businesses, that's fast lane. And property development and flipping is fast lane. I didn't say owning a property empire. That's not fast lane. Strictly property development and flipping. If you're doing that, you're running a fast lane business. And the significance of fast lane businesses are these are the only businesses that will get you to the millions. If you try anything else, you are not going to get to the millions. Now, your first target, to repeat, is to become financially free. Once you're there, then we can start looking at fast lane business strategies. All right, the next part of our definitions, the 4 aspects of financial education. Without financial education, you will not make 1 red cent. So financial education is a very important part of wealth building. And there's 4 aspects of it: general financial education, specific technical skills acquisition, leverage, and personal development. I can teach you 3 of these, but the specific technical skills acquisition, you have to learn that because you have to make a choice in which area of passive income are you going to go into. I can't make that choice for you. You have to make that choice. Now, if it happens to be publishing, I can teach you the specific skills. That's my lane. If it happens to be affiliate marketing, I can teach you the specific skills. That's my lane. But if it's anything else, such as property, I'm going to have to pass you on to someone where that's their lane. If it happens to be running a shop, I'm going to have to pass you on to somebody else, that's their lane. If it happens to be share trading, I'm going to have to pass you on to somebody else, that's their lane. And you have to pick one and you have to gain that mastery. I can't do that for you. I can teach you the generals, I can teach you the leverage, I can teach you the personal development, but you have to make that choice on the specific technical skills. So the four aspects of financial education. Let's talk about the general. This is learning the basic concepts that I'm teaching you. And you should attend as many free workshops as you can about wealth and take good notes. That's where your journal comes in. Specific technical skills acquisition. This is where you specialize. And that specializing means mastering one of your passive income systems or one of your fast lane business systems. Leverage is learning the different ways of creating a big output from a relatively small input. So you put in your small input, leverage magnifies it to produce a big financial output. You have to learn how to do that. And my job is to teach that. And personal development is developing the mindsets, understanding the money psychology, understanding your money pathologies. A lot of the money pathologies that we have, unfortunately, come out of certain understandings that many of us have about religion, where we're being taught that money is evil and that type of thing. And if you genuinely believe that money is evil, you're going to self-sabotage. Personal development is also enhancing your ability to remain disciplined and remain productive as you make your wealth journey. Personal development, I can teach you that. Money management. Money management is the very first sets of moves you need to make in your wealth journey. And the ideal system was put forward by a gentleman called T. Harv Eker, Polish-American guru. And he suggests ways of splitting your income into 6 jars. We could call one jar your necessities, another jar your financial freedom account, another jar your education account, another jar is your long-term saving for spending account, another jar is your play account, another jar is your give account. And once you can make that happen, your life begins to change. And ultimately, money management is what do you want your money to do and how hard must that money work for you? There's 2 types of money management. The money management to become financially free when you are walking the first 6 years of your wealth journey. And then the money management to build massive passive income, the money management to build massive net worth, and the money management to increase both. And that's what you do between years 7 and 14 in your wealth journey, and subsequently after that period, because you will keep that money management system in place for the rest of your life. And if you keep it in place for the rest of your life, I promise you, your life, financially at least, will be sorted because you will already be planning contingencies, etc., etc., etc. So money management is a whole area because you are going to have to turn your earned income, which is where you are right now. I'm assuming so because there are going to be entrepreneurs listening to this, but most people here are probably going to be workers. You're going to have to turn your earned income into income that is doing 6 different things at once. Whole area of financial expertise. Now, when I wrote The Rise and Fall of Black Wall Street and the 7 Key Empowerment Principles, I picked 7 because it's a sexy number, but in reality, there are 8 empowerment principles. And these are commitments that you have to make. Commitments that says, I am committed to a plan. I am committed to Robert T. Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Lesson 5. I am committed to George Sabira's concept of creativity. I am committed to personal development and growth. I am committed to discipline. I am committed to action. I am committed to defense, and I am committed to second generationing it. Second generationing it, I coined that phrase, so ain't no one saying that they came up with it. I came up with that. Second generationing it. This means being able to pass your wealth on, pass your knowledge on, pass your experience on to the next generation. You should be thinking about who you are going to inherit with your wealth. And you don't just give them the wealth, you give them the school, the tools, the skills, so that the next generation isn't starting from ground zero. They should be starting with structures already being handed down to them. And those elements is called second generationing it. Now, there are people that can shortcut, and that means they don't have to do the whole 6 years plus 8 years, 14 years. They can shortcut the wealth journey because they've got skills, such as you know how to make apps, skills such as you know how to web design, skills such as you know how to market. Marketing is the most powerful skill. And it's actually one of the rarest skills because everyone says they can market, but most people cannot actually do it. So if you are a marketer, you are always going to be in demand. Filming and editing, being able to turn what somebody says into a film, being able to put it into, I know that there's now been a certain AI revolution, but being able to maintain high quality standards. Again, powerful skill. Building, painting, and decorating. You have those skills, you simply partner with somebody who is going into the property development and flipping game, and you can fast lane very, very quickly. So those are the 5 key marketable skills. If you have those skills, you don't need to walk the 14-year wealth journey. You find people that are already doing it, you call them up, and you offer them a deal. How can you help them? And then what can you negotiate with them? So if I'm looking at my own business, there are people that work with me who are either financially free or they're right on the edge of becoming financially free. And it's really been within the last 4 years that we've been able to make this happen. And that's because the person was able to jump on what I'm doing. Does that make sense? They didn't have to walk the 14-year wealth journey. So those are what happens when you have the marketable skills. Or the shortcuts. Can you network? By networking, your objective is to find somebody who is walking that wealth journey, and can you help them in some way? Do you possess the key marketable skills? And another one is if you are a young person living at home and your parents are quite happy to support you, you can go straight to the fast lane, knowing that you don't have to worry about paying bills, that kind of thing. If you have a spouse and that spouse is supporting you, again, you can dream a lot bigger. And these then become the shortcuts to wealth building. So what did we cover today? We talked about why is study and learning important to wealth building. We answered the question, what is wealth building mastery, by looking at all the different concepts that wealth building mastery involves, what the concepts mean, how they work, and so on and so forth. And conclusion. If this is an area that you want to get into, and me and my colleagues run something called the Black Secret Business Project. Now, for those of you that are already subscribed to the Black Secret, you already have this access. But for the people that are new, that don't have this access, we run something called the Black Secret Business Project. Now, what should you do next? go to our site and subscribe, www.theblacksecrets.co.uk/business-project. How much is it? No, it's not $2,997 or $997, although it would be worth it would be worth it. It's $28 or £20 per calendar month. So what do you get? We teach the challenges faced by the Black community in making money and what you can do about it. How to move from being an agenda follower to being under budgetary control. What wealth mastery is. What the fortune building key we can learn from our ancestors who built great Zimbabwe. What are the 5 things that entrepreneurs do that the poor and middle classes do not do? What are the 8 key empowerment principles? What lessons can we learn from celebrities, lottery winners, and families with inheritances so that you don't make the mistakes that usually happen? How do you set up a business? What are the inner game of success? What is marketing? What is going to be your 14-year plan? And how are you going to go about second generationing it? Every second class comes with a very detailed homework, so you practically make the steps. Why do we want people to practically make the steps? Because we want to create entrepreneurs. That's why. Now, we do have a special offer. We are offering a 50% discount of £10 per calendar month, $14 if you're American. And why are we doing this? Because that's how we roll. After all, it's coming up to Christmas and Kwanzaa. All the classes are filmed in a London classroom. The classes are all online. You can watch them at your own convenience, 10:30 in the morning, 6 p.m., midnight, etc., etc. And you can start and stop and rewind each class at your convenience. And so anything you don't understand, you can watch it over and over and over and over and over until you get it. You have full access to my lecture notes, and you have test yourself quizzes that we will mark and feed back to you to make sure you are understanding the information as you're doing it. So that is me. My name is Robin Walker. I represent the Black Secret. And if you want any more information, go to our site, www.theblacksecret.co.uk/business-project. Thank you very much. And let me put something in the chat and we can take it from there.
Family, put some ones in the chat. That was amazing. Family, show your appreciation for Robin Walker. Very powerful, and he's putting the information for those of you who are interested in signing up to the Black Secret. I mean, even if it was £2,997, it would still be worth it because you're getting the Black History Man himself and all of the valuable information that he provides. So yeah, absolutely amazing. We're going to go into a Q&A, couple questions in the Q&A. Now, if you want to ask a question live, all you need to do is raise your hand. I'm going to lower hands right now, sorry. All right, so if you want to ask a question live right now, raise your hand. Yeah, if you want to ask a question live. Alternatively, you can put your question in the Q&A. I always suggest going live, but I will read out the Q&A questions as well. Okay, so this question says, how do you avoid being overtaxed by HMRC against your passive income? For example, savings. Do you then use tax vehicles to avoid the tax burden?
Let me answer that. Business people pay less tax than everybody else. Don't let anybody tell you that business people pay more tax. They pay less. Yeah. And that's, when people say, and the business people are being crushed by taxation, it's all lies. Yeah. Income tax, I think, for ordinary people, or over 40%, something like that. For business people, it's 20%. Yeah, so we pay less tax than anybody else. And so what you do is you register all of your income, but you make sure that that income goes through your company. So it's proper business income. And make sure that your accountant removes all of your expenses. Because once you put everything through your business, your travel to do your work, that is now a business expense. So it's removed. Do you see?
Yeah.
Your subsistence, which is your food, becomes a business expense. So it's removed. Your hotel stays is a business expense. So it's removed. Your suit is a business expense. So it's removed. Do you see? So don't let anyone tell you rubbish about the system is crushing business people. It's a lie. Business people always paid less tax than everybody else.
And can you not, if you rent, can't you make the rent an expendable as well?
Um, you can only do that
If you work
if
from
the
home.
rent is connected to your work. So if it's you own somewhere, yes, and you're collecting rent, you put it through your business, so it becomes part of your business income. Yeah.
Mm.
If you're renting a space directly connected to your business, that's a business expense, definitely.
But I mean, if you're actually paying rent, but you work from home.
Yes, oh yeah, because provided that your business is registered at your address,
Oh yeah, yeah,
you see, and
yeah,
make sure that your accountant is because the specific specificalities, I can't even think of the word. Go on, help me. What's the damn word? The
What
specifics.
the
The
specific?
specifics. Your accountant should be advising you. By the way, the one downside of becoming an entrepreneur, and there's only one downside, you do need to have an accountant. Yeah.
Mhm.
You don't need to get one immediately, but to make sure that you pay less tax, that's what your accountant is there for. Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, if you can just unshare.
Oh, am I still sharing?
Yeah, you're still sharing.
Oh, scene. Sorry about that.
No
I thought
worries.
I'd. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Right, if I do that, boom.
Um, if you There you go. Nice one, bro. Um, what was I going to say about business as well? But what about, because there's this new thing that came out, everyone's talking about digital ID. I don't know if you saw, but every business director needs to, I don't know, fill out this new form so they're on the digital ID list, I guess, or something like that. Did you see that?
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. Now, I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
not true, but even it, let's pretend it's true. It's going to happen. You know, politicians. That's going to take about 3 or 4 years before any of that becomes a reality.
Uh-huh.
So again, don't sweat it, bro. Don't sweat it.
Okay.
And no matter how difficult they make things for business people, believe me, things are always harder for people on the plantation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So this question says, I'm in serious debt. Can this course help me?
Yes. Yes, it can. But the main thing is you now have to come with a program for what you're going to do about the debt. Yeah. You're going to have to come with your own program. Now, basically, when it comes to debt, ultimately, your money management has to be tight. And there might be a better person that you come to before you come to me. Does that make sense? Now, I'd like to say, yeah, come to me, but there's a better person. There is an expert in debt called u4us.com. You'll know her, Paula Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's her lane. That is her lane. Yeah, she is the go-to woman. Where you wanna handle debt, speak to her. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Her company is called you4us.com.
Okay. And this question says, what about ISAs?
ISAs is essentially pensions. Now, because I'm an entrepreneur, I plan my life on the principle that I'm not going to have a pension. Yeah.
Mm.
Now, I am willing to take that risk because I'm so sure of my income streams.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, for lots of people, that's like, God damn, are you prepared to risk that? Yeah, I'm prepared to risk that. But for people that don't want to go there, you would need to speak to someone whose specialism is that. That's not mine. Because what I teach you is work on, especially you young heads, work on the principle that pensions aren't going to exist by the time you get old. And trust me, if you can plot the trajectory, pensions aren't going to exist. So you have to get your income streams. Yeah. Okay. So what do I advise? What do I advise? Do I? My expertise is not ISIS. Yeah. So I'm not that dude. Someone asked in the chat, "What's the debt lady company?" Her name is Paula Perry, and her company is u4us.com or u4us.co.uk. I can't remember one of the two. U4 is the number four. U4us.
Okay. All right. So yeah, with regards to ISIS, you gotta find someone who specializes in that. All right. Anyone want to go live? Raise your hand now if you want to go live and ask your question. Raise your hand. If not, you must have explained that very well, Robin. As
In
you
it, in it.
you must have explained that very well. All right. So if there's no more questions, we're gonna move on, family. Last chance. All right. Thank you, family. Oh, here we go. Lottie, you can unmute your mic.
Greetings,
Greetings, sis.
everyone. Greetings,
Greetings.
and thank you for the presentation, Robin Walker. Thank you.
Pleasure.
I just want to ask if we can buy the course, even though we can't really get into it yet. I just don't want to miss out on the offer. And there's a reason. I'm starting a business next year, and I've already got a coach that's going to be helping me
Mhm,
starting the second week of January.
mhm.
And I just think I'll get a bit overwhelmed, but I don't want to miss out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, jump on our thing. As I said, you don't need to rush anything. Yeah.
Okay.
We tell people if you can fit in 15 minutes here, watch 15 minutes, freeze it, come back to it 2 days time.
Okay.
Um, and our content will certainly help you, and it will get you to think of things that you didn't necessarily think about. And so, check us out.
I'll jump on it. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's get Yvette in. Yvette, you can unmute your mic, sis.
Hello, can you hear me?
Greetings, sis. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great.
I'd like to ask Robin Walker a bit of advice. I have one more year to pay my finish my mortgage,
Mhm.
and I'm looking into a trust so that my house is for the next generation. But I've told them to keep it as a business because I've had people rent rooms here and whatever when they left.
Mhm.
So and that was a good income on top of what else I had coming in. So yeah, do you think a trust is a good way to go?
Yes, but that's not my lane. Did I mention somebody called Paula Perry?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think it did. Yeah.
Again, that's her lane. First of all, big up to you for turning your property into an asset. Yeah. So I have to say, I respect that. Yeah. I proper respect that. And the fact that you're looking to pass that down to your children under the understanding that they keep it as an asset, again, I respect that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Big up to you. But yes, the whole game around trusts, there's a whole bunch of legals associated with it. And the legals, I'm not that guy. I don't know what the legals are when it comes to trusts. Yeah.
Okay.
But certainly I know that, again, Paula, that's her lane.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
Big up
sis.
to you, seriously. I rate that. I proper rate that.
Yeah, man. And I know a lot of people talk about trust. And yeah, if you guys get in contact, she's the person to talk to about that. But I know a lot of people talk about trust. Power of Consent, who's been on this platform, they talk about putting everything in a trust. Nothing should be in your name. Your business shouldn't be in your name. Your car shouldn't be in your name. All of these things should be in a trust. So yeah, seems like that's very important information for the family to know about. Yeah. All right. Any last questions before we finish up, family? If you create a trust, there are CGT implications. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's move on. Put some ones in the chat. Show your appreciation for Robin Walker. Very powerful presentation, family. Put some ones in the chat. Thank you, brother. And yeah, Robin Walker's going to be at some of our events next year that I'm going to be talking about. So you'll definitely see him. And like I say, at the beginning of this, I showed a clip from his Black Love presentation. That's coming soon as well. So thank you, brother. We are now going to move on and finish up, family. So let me just make sure that everyone's got these links before we finish up. And you guys can enjoy the rest of your evening. Let me see if I've got the right links here. All right, so I'm just going to post the link to all of our up and coming events for you guys to sign up to. And some of them are free, family. So you can sign up to some of these events, especially the one this Saturday. So this Saturday, let me go back one. This Saturday, we've got the Black Holistic Health free book showcase in Hammersmith, 27 Hammersmith Grove, the Black Holistic Health book showcase. And that's on Saturday, the 13th of December. It actually starts at like 10 o'clock, but 12 to 6 is when I'm going to be doing my thing there. So I'm going to be talking about my book. I'm going to be talking about other Black Holistic Health books that you guys should have in your rotation. Yeah. So don't want to miss that. That's this Saturday, family. Is going to be very, very powerful when it comes on to getting presents for loved ones around Christmas. What better way to give them a gift than to give them a book about Black Holistic Health? And I'm going to be reeling off all of the books that helped me with regards to Black Holistic Health. And again, Brother Emmanuel is going to be there with his store, and the books I'll be mentioning, 9 times out of 10, he's going to have all of them on his bookstore. So these are the books that you need in your collection. And when it comes on to Black Holistic Health books, I always say this, but they're not books that you read from start to finish. These are books that you reference. Like Dr. Leila Africa has a book about, what's it called? Diagnosing or diagnostics or something like that. African Holistic Diagnosis or something like that, where he basically breaks down how you can diagnose yourself. So a lot of us, we go to the doctors, we go to the hospital and get diagnosed. He breaks down in this book how you can holistically diagnose yourself by doing things like face mapping, looking at your face and knowing what parts of your face are to do with what parts of your organs. Very powerful book. I'm sure some of you are familiar with that book. And on the front cover of that book, he's got a picture of his wife, and it's a face map of her. It's a face map of her face. Yeah. So I'm going to be breaking down all of these books. Obviously, one of his most famous books is African Holistic Health, Dr. Leila Africa, very powerful book. But these are not books that you pick up and read from start to finish. These are books that you just have in your collection, have in your family, and reference anytime something's going on, whether it's you or a family member, you pick up that book and it will tell you, one, what's going on, and two, how to deal with it, whether it's with herbs, whether it's with food, or whatever. Yeah, these are very powerful books. You don't want to miss this. The Black Holistic Health Book Showcase, that is this Saturday, family, from 12 to 6. I think I finishes at 7. So yeah, 12 to 7. Once again, there will be other authors there. So it's not just going to be me there. There's going to be other authors. Some of the other authors, they won't have Black Holistic Health books. So they'll be talking about their books. I'm sure, I think one of the authors, they're going to be talking about finance and that sort of stuff. So yeah, free community event. Come down. Robin, someone's asking, what was the book that you mentioned beginning with by George? Beginning with George. That was
the book is called Black Folks Guide to Making Big Money in America. Black Folks Guide to Making Big Money in America.
Black Folks Guide to Making Big Money in America.
And it's by George Subira, S-U-B-I-R-A.
George Subira. Let me put that in the chat. George. S-U-B-I-R-A. George Subira. Wicked. Yeah. Oh, Brother Emmanuel had that in his collection as well. And speaking of Brother Emmanuel, myself and Robin Walker will be at his event the following Saturday, the pre-Kwanzaa extravaganza. Yeah. And Robin, do you want to speak about, because you're going to be launching your book at this event, right?
Yes, sir.
You want to speak about that?
Yeah, I'm going to be giving a history lecture, all new information.
Wow.
Well, basically, I've just written a new book on ancient African history, and it's got about 40% new content that's not in When We Ruled.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm going to be speaking about that content and showing an African grandeur outside of the usual regions of Africa that people usually talk about. So we're not going to be talking about Kemet, although Kemet's in the book. We're not going to be talking about Kush, although Kush is in the book.
Mm.
I'm going to be talking about civilizations that don't get enough shine, where they had plenty going on too. Yeah.
Mm.
So, as I said, all new information.
Powerful. That is an exclusive, family. So yeah, get your tickets for that. Just posted the link for that. So that's the pre-Kwanzaa extravaganza 2025. Get your tickets. Myself, Robin Walker, we're going to be in the building. That's at Trinity Church Hall, which is Golders Green, North London. So yeah, time is 3:30 to 7:30. Tickets are only £10. So yeah, I want to see a lot of you in the place for that one. And next year, family, we've got the Hidden Science of Black Hair. Very powerful event at the Legacy Center of Excellence. That's a Black-owned venue in Birmingham. And last time we did this event, big up the people who came last time, was during the pandemic, well, near the end of the pandemic, but it was 2021. Yeah, when everyone was staying at home. And we brought out 500 people to this event. That was in Birmingham. So we're looking for more this time, family. So make sure you come support, especially if you're from up north, but even my Londoners. If you go onto the link, you can get an early bird ticket for only £10, or you can get the early bird plus the coach. For those of you coming from London, if you book the coach literally takes you there for the start time of 12. And then when the event finishes at 8 o'clock, it will take you back to London, Victoria. Yeah, it takes about 3 hours for the coach to get there, 3 hours for the coach to come back. But if you don't want to worry about traveling, if you don't want to drive or don't want to jump on a train, and you just want to relax on the coach, then the early bird coach tickets are there. If not, you can get your early bird tickets for only £10 for this event. The Hidden Science of Black Hair, very powerful event. Various speakers talking about various aspects of, our hair and the health, and even texturizing and protective hairstyles. I know that's a big one in the community, protective hairstyles. We're going to be covering all of that, family, so you don't want to miss that event, Hidden Sides of Black Hair. And then the big one, after that, summertime, we've got the Windrush special, Saturday, the 20th of June, 2026. The Hidden Science Academy, in collaboration with Hidden Truth and New Initiative Catering, presents the Hidden Science of Reggae. Family, this is going to be a monumental event at the Radisson Red Hotel. Don't want to miss it. It's going to be so monumental. We're going to make it into a weekender. And if you book your ticket for this, we've got early bird tickets for the day event. But if you book your ticket for the weekender, you can book a room. Right now, you can book a room and just put down £100 deposit to secure your room, and you'll be part of the weekender. 5-star hotel, luxury facilities, spa, gym, jacuzzi, sauna, all that stuff. Plus, you'll be chilling with us at the hotel, plus some special guests that I can't even mention yet, some reggae performances that I can't even mention yet, and some DJs. Asa Jackson's going to be the main DJ there, but we're going to have some international DJs as well. Family, this is going to be amazing. So the Hidden Sides of Reggae, we're going to be breaking down powerful information with regards to Bob Marley in London. We're going to be breaking down powerful information with regards to how the CIA targeted reggae music in Jamaica, and how reggae music over here in the UK was demonized, and how we as Black people, Black Caribbean people we use roots reggae as like the soundtrack for a spiritual revolution. All of the uprisings back in the 80s and 90s, we were listening to roots reggae as our backing track. Yeah, so we've been breaking all that powerful stuff down, and how to this day they still demonize it. Yeah. And then for those of you who are interested, I do run my podcast every Sunday. I call it Marshall's Melanin Podcast. So you guys can sign up to that as well, each and every Sunday. A lot of people have been talking about the last one, which was the Science of Shining. That was a really good one. You guys, if this is your first time listening, you want to check out some previous episodes, just go onto YouTube and type in Marshall's Melanin Podcast or Melanin Podcast. All of the podcasts will show up. Well, all of the ones that they haven't blocked, because their YouTube has blocked some of them. But the majority of them are up on YouTube now, so you guys can check them out and enjoy those pod classes. Yeah. And just before we finish up, we've been uploading some of our presentations from the Black Women's Health event that we just had. So you guys go on to YouTube, and my presentation from the Black Women's Health event is now up, family. So it's called How Valuable Are Black Women's Cells? And you guys can check out my presentation. Trust me, it will blow you away, my presentation. Yeah, so family, share this with your friends and family, because yeah, there's a lot of powerful information in this presentation. It's called How Valuable Are Black Women's Cells? Let me see if I can get the link so I can share it in the chat, so you guys can check it out either this evening or whenever. Let me just share that with the family just before we jump off. And check out the others as well. Jenny Russell's presentation went down really well at the event. Leah Salmon's presentation at the Black Women's Health event went down really well. And we had a Dr. Diane Riney. Her presentation about weathering went down really well as well. So yeah, you guys check out those presentations, man. Very powerful information. Very, very powerful information for the family. Share it with your friends and family and that sort of stuff. And remember, if this is your first time, we do this each and every Wednesday, family. It's called Wellness is Wealth. So tell a friend to tell a friend. And I hope to see a lot of you at our free event, the free Black Holistic Health Book Showcase this Saturday, and the extravaganza the following Saturday. But for now, family, I'm going to sign off. So thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, everyone, for staying right to the end. Someone quickly just wants you to go. Robin, if you're still there, would you be able to just quickly go over the course offer one more time?
What do you want me to say?
Oh, someone's asking, can you just go over the course offer, just your offer?
Yeah, the offer is basically if people join, they can lock in £10 per calendar month, $14 per calendar month. You can lock that. Yeah. What I'm going to do is let me post the HTTP, all that stuff. Click on that, and then people can join in. Now, warning, warning. If you are already a member of the Black Secret, you do not need to do this. You've already got that access. Yeah. If you're new, click. I've just posted something in the chat. So click on that, and then it will take you through.
So family, this is your chance. You can lock in just £10 a month. Amazing opportunity. And again, like you said, you can just go once you. So someone's asking, how long is the course?
How long is the course? The course is 25 hours worth of content. And that 25 hours worth of content, you can watch it in, sit down for 25 hours and watch everything and sign off. Or you can, rewind, watch bits over and over, all that, however you want to engage with it, because you work with it at your own pace.
All right, so Israel, you're asking about the Blacklisted Health. Remember the Blacklisted Health book showcases this Saturday. I've just posted the link there. So yeah, this is different. So what Robin Walker's talking about is his online course, which you can join for £10 a month now, and you'll get access to his Wealth Mastery course, all of his notes and that sort of stuff. Huge bargain, but you have to jump on it ASAP, and he's put the link in the chat there. So that's for the people who are interested in joining his online platform where you subscribe. And at the present moment, he's saying you subscribe now, it'll only be £10 a month, usually £20. So you're getting 50% off. Huge bargain, yeah? And like I say, go to YouTube, type in the Hidden Science Academy, you go to our channel and you can check out some of the previous presentations from our Black Women's Health event. We've got some very powerful presentations coming up on that channel. We've got Black Men's Health lectures that we're going to be posting, and some of our other events like the Black Love event and that sort of stuff. But once again, thank you, family, for joining. Thank you for staying right to the end. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will see you very soon. One love, family. Take care, everyone.